That's traditional. I'm not traditional. So you're not paying any commissions with me. I'm not a real estate agent. I am your buyer. Hello, Quintel.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. This is Chris Silva. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. How's your morning going?
It's going well.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So you had spoke to my associate the other day, Brandon, about your property there
Yes,
on
sir.
East Cave. Did he let you know I was going to give you a call? Or on South Cave?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. So he kind of told me a little bit about the deal, but if you want to catch me up to speed as far as the plans and the goals for yourself.
Yeah. So basically, I was thinking of moving to San Antonio soon.
Oh, nice. What takes you to San Antonio?
Uh, Becoming a police officer. I've applied to the academy and got accepted. So
Hell yeah, bro.
I'm supposed.
Congratulations. My dad just retired from the sheriff's out here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
appreciate it.
That's awesome, bro. Congratulations. You excited? How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been training and stuff for it. So
Nice, nice, nice. What is the PT, the physical test look like?
just 1 mile, like 30 push-ups, sit-ups, and nothing too crazy.
Oh, that's good. It's cake for you, right?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. I wish you best of luck on that. So when do you leave over there?
It's supposed to be April.
April?
I was trying to get the family out there about April.
You're trying to get the family out there before then?
No. Like by April, like mid-April or the beginning of April.
Oh, okay, nice. How long is that academy?
I believe it was, I think like 18 months.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's gonna probably fly by. You ever been to San Antonio, or you have family out there?
Yeah, my little brother's a cop there.
Oh
So
man, that's
he loves it.
awesome,
So
bro.
he's
Is he
like trying to
excited
get
to
me the
have you out
cops.
there?
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. That's awesome. How exciting, man. Okay, so cool. So you guys are trying to get rid of this property. You guys are leaving to San Antonio. You want to ideally be out there in mid-April. Do you have a place out there already?
No, we were gonna rent
Okay.
out there. So just trying to like start looking for something to rent next month.
Okay, cool. Cool, 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 cool. So what are we in? Man, time's already flying. We're already in mid of February. We got what? A week and a half?
Yeah.
March. So ideally, you guys are trying to be out of here. So your kind of time frame is you would like to have the house sold by within the next 30 days, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Cool. So how long ago did you buy this house?
I bought it in June of
In-
last year.
Oh, so that's gonna be the issue right there. So, okay, cool. So just to tell you a little bit about myself and what I do is I buy real estate in several states here in Texas, New Mexico, Las Vegas, Florida. Ideally, I specialize in houses in houses that don't have equity. These situations I see them all the time. When I buy real estate, I'm looking at it more for a long haul. I'm looking at it for the next 10, 15 years. Buy and hold. I typically turn them into rental properties. I turn them into experiences. Now, when I do buy, I can buy them cash. However, when I buy them cash, I buy them at a discounted rate. But if cash is not always the right way for a seller, sometimes it doesn't make sense for them. So I also specialize in structuring deals. So for me, it's to be able to create a win-win situation, not only for myself, but for you as a seller as well too. So with that being said, is ideally when you bought this house, let me ask you this. What are your payments on this house?
Uh, $2,030.
Two
2030.
$2,030. Okay, is there any tax exemption on the uh on the taxes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What's that tax exemption?
I'm 100% disabled, so I don't
Oh,
have
so
to
you don't pay
pay
any
taxes.
property taxes. Mm. Okay. Let me ask you this. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Do you know what the taxes are yearly on that property?
No, I do not.
No? Okay. I will get that information. I'll look it up shortly. And then do you know what your interest rate is on this?
6%.
6%? Okay. And then
Yeah.
What was it that you were ideally trying to net on this property, like after you sold it?
Um. Uh. I'm not sure.
Okay. So you are kind of you are aware that there's really no equity in this property, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So ideally, if you were to put this on the market with a regular real estate agent, it's probably going to cost you a minimum of about 10% in closing costs. So typically that 10% comes from 6%. That closing cost typically comes from 6% real estate commissions, 1% seller closing costs, and 3% buyer's closing costs. How much did you buy this house for?
Um. Three. Was it 338?
338. Okay, cool. And so do you know how much you still owe on this property?
Yes. 320. So 320 plus. So I'm not currently sure like a actual price that I still owe on it. I just know I've been making a payment since June.
Since June? Okay,
Yeah.
ideally, so since interest is paid in the front of the loan, there's probably a chance that you probably owe like 333, maybe 330, somewhere around there. Does that sound
Yeah.
about right? 333?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So ideally, this might not necessarily be a deal for me, but I know I can probably still help you out on this. Just because how many bedrooms is this house?
5.
5 bedrooms?
Yes.
Okay. By any chance, do you know a rough estimate of what this property could rent for?
No.
No. Okay. Okay, no worries, no worries. Yes, it's in 79938, 5 bedrooms, probably about 2300, so it'll be negative. Okay, cool. I mean, no worries. If this is something that I'm able to help you out with, ideally, is this something that we would be able to move on today? I like put it under contract. And obviously, I know you still need some time to move, so that's not a problem for me. But is this something that you would want to move on ASAP?
Uh, I wouldn't be able to do the 10%, the closing costs and stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. That's traditional. I'm not traditional. So you're not paying any commissions with me. I'm not a real estate agent. I am your buyer. So I'm a real estate investor. So what I do is, like I said, is when I buy these properties, I buy them to turn them into rentals. And where I'm going to make my money is within the next 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's something that
if you were to put this on the market, let's say they were to sell your house for 340, 350, you would need this house to sell for at least 370 in order to break even. This house won't sell for 370.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because at 370, it's going to cost you $37,000 in closing costs. That house wouldn't even appraise because you literally just bought it. However, if I'm able to help you out, and that's what I was saying, like no commissions involved. There's no real estate agents. Ideally, it's very, very simple, and I'm going to walk you through that. But I just want to make sure that we're on the same pages. If we're able to come up with something today, we can basically move on this today.
Okay.
Cool. And is it just going to be you making the decision?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So the way this would work is what this is we call this a subject to deal. So what does that mean is I'm going to take over your mortgage subject to. Now, the only costs that you're in charge of paying are basically your seller closing costs, which is just a title policy. That's the only closing cost that you're entitled to pay. Now, as far as everything else, all the buyer's fees, no commissions, is I'm going to be responsible for all those fees. Uh, in this case, it's basically we go under contract saying that I'm going to take over your property. What a subject to is meaning I'm going to take over your current mortgage. I'm going to continue to make payments on that. Now, once I'm able to build equity into this property, that's when I will refinance taking this off of your name. Now, the best thing about this is, like I said, is you're not coming out of pocket upside down. The only thing, like I said, that you are in charge of is taking over your current mortgage. Now, if we were to close, let's say we were to put this under contract and close within 30 days, and you still needed more time to stay in the house because you guys haven't found a rental yet. You guys haven't found a rental yet. Well, ideally, is the best thing about working with me is I like to work with my sellers. Thank you, sir. I like to work with my sellers and be able to create that win-win situation where, hey, Chris, I need at least 2 more weeks. Cool. What we'll do is we'll do a rental agreement for 2 weeks. So it's called a lease back, meaning you're going to lease back the property from the day we close until X amount of time that you need.
Okay.
So it's a very, very simple process. And like I said, the only thing here is just, I just want you to understand that I am coming into a negative situation because I don't get that same tax exempt. So ideally now my payment is going to go from $2,000 to the taxes were about almost close to 7,000. So my payment goes from 2,000 to 2,700. Now, ideally, if they're at 2,700, I could probably only rent out this property. I'm thinking 2,300 max. I'm going to be negative on this deal. Now, if this deal was a little bit smaller or the taxes weren't that expensive, then probably I would be able to play for your seller title policy. But in this case, ideally, that's the only thing that you're going to need to come out of the table with.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Cool. So is this something that you want to move forward on? Do you want me to start working up on the contract so that way we can go over it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what is your email address?
It's Quintel McCoy, Quin.
Quien?
Quin as in November.
Can you do me a favor? Can you text it to me?
Yeah.
Well,
This number right now.
yeah, this is my personal cell phone number. Again, my name is Chris Silva.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to text it to me real quick while we're on the phone, so that way I could just what I'm doing is I'm having my transaction coordinator draft up the contract right now. I'm emailing her all the information. So that way, if you have any questions, I mean, we could go over it here right now.
Okay. 1 second. It just sent.
Perfect. I did receive it. So can I place you on a brief hold real quick? So that way I could just email all over this information.
Yes, this one.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let's grow, baby. All right, I'm going to go over this contract real quick. Hello?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So they already drafted it up. Are you in front of your email or on your phone or on a computer?
I'm in front of my email.
You're in front of your email? Okay.
I'm on my, phone.
Oh, okay, cool. That works perfect. Are you able to open up your email and check to see if it was received?
Yes, I'm looking right now.
And guys, I know we haven't sent the contract. I'm just making him check to make sure he is on his phone. I'm going to wait for him to tell me he hasn't received it.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I haven't received it just yet.
No, let me go ahead and resend it real quick. Okay. I just went ahead and resent it. It should come in from Ben Suarez, and it's going to be a dot loop.
Okay, I got it.
You got it? Okay, cool. You want to open it up so that way we could kind of go through it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through page for page with you. So that way you understand it all. And then if you have any questions, just let me know. Ideally, there's going to be a part where you could sign. On each page, you're just going to initial, and then we'll go through the whole thing.
Okay, I'm looking at it now.
Okay, cool. So the first page you're seeing, what does it say? Does it say the purchase contract and escrow instructions?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So right here, this is just basically under one. It's the basic terms. This is the property address. That's your legal description. Down here, it says the purchase price. This is approximate existing first mortgage. What we're doing is we're taking over that payoff. Down at the bottom, you'll see where it says seller initials. You could go ahead and just click that, and it should initial that first page. Were you able to do that?
Yeah.
Let me know when you're on page 2.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, cool. So same thing. Total purchase price is going to be the payoff amount. We put 45 days after clear title or sooner to close that. We're still going to go through a title company. So you're going to see here, this is going to be the escrow agent that we're going to be using. That's going to be the escrow officer that we're going to be using. And then right here on page 2, it's just going to show your name on page 2. If you want to go ahead and initial that one.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to page 3. It's going to show us that we're buying it. So Upscale Elite, that's the name of our company. This is our company address. Our office is here in the west side if you ever want to stop on by. We're not going to do any inspections on the home. Typically, when we buy houses, we buy them sight unseen. It's just based all on numbers for us. Escrow fees and costs. We're going to set this up through an escrow company, meaning we're going to be making payments to the escrow company, and they're going to be making payments to your bank every single month. Ideally, they're a third-party servicing company that services the loan. Those fees are going to be inquired by us. Now, the seller, which is yourself, you're just going to be paying the standard title policy. Now, there's no HOA. There's no HOA on this property, so that's left blank. You want to go to an initial there down at the bottom.
Okay.
HOA, there's nothing there. There's going to be a subject to addendum. There's no seller carryback. So all that information is left blank. If you want to initial down on this page.
Let's see. Is that the seller? That's page 4, right?
Page 4, yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
Cool. Page 5, we're going to see that right here, we left it blank on occupancy because we don't know if you're still going to be in the property when we close or we don't. So I left that blank for now. Now, based on once we get a title commitment and everything's ready with title, then ideally we could coordinate with each other when you want to close and how much time we're going to need inside the property.
Okay.
Cool. So that's going to be right here down. You're going to sign on page 5.
Okay, I just signed it.
Okay, cool. So the next one is just basically saying this is for older homes if there's a septic tank or lead-based paint on there. So ideally, this is just disclosure that you would disclose if there was lead-based paint or there's a septic system, which there's not.
Okay.
And then the next one's page 6. This is basically saying we have the right to inspect the property if we needed to based on the above. However, we're not doing no inspection date. There's no inspection for us. We will probably walk the house one time before closing, which a transaction coordinator will coordinate with you. And then basically, right here, it's just saying that you're going to allow us to have access to the property when we need access, when I need to walk it. Ideally, you will be notified a day before.
Okay.
You want to sign that one? And then the next one, specific closing costs. It talks about the tax prorations. You're in charge of the taxes. The property taxes, which you're 100% disabled, so there's no property taxes on this, that you're in charge of the taxes up to the day we close, but ideally there's no taxes. And then as far as closing costs, you're going to be in charge of the seller closing costs, and there's going to be 2 initials right there.
Okay. Yeah, I signed that.
Perfect. So the next page is basically saying that you know that I'm not being represented by a real estate agent. You're not being represented by a real estate agent. That we have to perform on this contract, that there's no oral changes or representation. Basically, everything that we say and agree on needs to be done within through paper.
Okay.
The next page is just going to be addendums to the contract, and it's also going to talk about an assignment. I have the right to assign the contract if I'm not going to be the buyer. There is sometimes that we do assign the contract, but in this case, I am going to be the buyer. I'm going to be the one buying the property. This is just a disclosure to you. So you want to sign on that one?
Okay, I'm trying to click it now. Okay, I did.
Cool. So the next one is just basically saying time is of the essence, that we will work together in a timely manner to get this property closed. This is a legally binding contract. This is just letting you know that this contract does stand. You could sign right there down at the bottom. And then the next page is basically just going to be signature page, where you're going to sign and initial down at the bottom on page 12.
Okay, so I know you said if this is a legal binding contract, am I gonna have more time to look over the contract before I send it back, or how does that work?
Yeah, ideally, once you sign, we get that back. We'll sign this to the contract. However, you're more than welcome to go through it as well too. Is there any questions that you're not understanding right now that you want to go over?
I guess like the binding to the contract, since I'm like signing it now, I just want to know, like what exactly am I being binded to?
Yeah, so it's basically what you're being. Yeah, absolutely. So you're basically binding to me buying the property through subject to, meaning you know that I'm going to be taking over your current mortgage. Ideally, we're going to close within the 45 days, and everything that we just went over, that's basically what the contract says.
Okay.
I'm basically buying for what you owe on the property. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Cool.
I'm just reading still.
Yeah, absolutely. And so a lot of it is just going to be a lot of disclosures on there, in which
Yes.
it's pretty much a whole lot of disclosures. But if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay. And like I said, it's a very simple process, but I want to make sure that you fully understand it.
So, okay, my question is like, let's say if like contract, I guess what I'm asking is like, if I sign this contract now and then I'm like, if I see something that I don't like in the contract and I don't want to go through with it, what does that mean for me?
Okay, well, what would be your reason for not wanting to go through? Let me ask you that. Like you're saying, like if you decide not to sell the house, or
No, I mean I would like to sell it.
okay,
So I'm just saying as far as like let's say if we're talking about something and we're explaining something and it just I don't know, like one of these uh stanzas or lines is saying something else or something when I
yeah,
review it.
yeah, absolutely. So again, if there's any questions or anything like that, like I want to make sure that I answer all of your questions. One thing about me is like I'm full transparency. So if there's something on there that you're like, hey Chris, what about this? I mean, we could jump on it and we can go through it. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I want to give you peace of mind. Like I want you to fully understand everything. Like I said, so this is just basically the contract. What's going to happen is this is going to get sent to the title company. The title company is going to be the one that drafts up the docs. This is just basically me disclosing that I am purchasing the property through subject to.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just a purchase agreement. This isn't closing docs. Like the house isn't getting transferred to my name right now.
Okay.
This allows us to get the ball rolling, basically.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I want to make sure that you and I are both on the same page. So again, if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Right now, once we sign, ideally what's going to happen is it's going to get sent to me. I'm going to be able to sign. I'm going to get this over to the title company. It allows us to start the process so that way we're not wasting any time. Now, if you have any questions, this is my personal cell phone number. We could jump on a call and I mean, we could knock out anything that you have, but ideally that's why I kind of wanted to go over the contract with you at this moment.
Right. Okay.
Sounds good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect. So now it's going to be the subject to addendum. Basically, what this addendum is disclosing, it's again, this is all disclosures to you. It's basically letting you know that I am taking over the property subject to, I'm going to kind of paraphrase it all in a nutshell. I am taking over the property subject to, we're not going to notify the bank. However, we're still going to go through the title company. Everything's going to be done through the title company. Deed's going to be transferred in my name. The note's going to stay in your name. I'm going to continue making payments to you, payments to the bank every single month. This isn't a loan and the existing loan isn't being paid in full. However, we are taking over the mortgage. Can you open up the addendum for me? It's going to be the next doc.
Yes, I'll open it up.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And were you able to sign the last signature on the last one?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool. And let me know once you have the subject to addendum open.
I just pressed the view all documents. Subject to addendum to purchase contract.
Boom.
Okay, I have it open.
So basically what this is an addition. Like I said, it's an addition to the contract. Addendum means add, like to adding another piece to the contract. And then this is basically all the disclosures prior to clear of escrow that we shall execute the following documents. You're going to get me the loan information. All this is going to be questions asked by the title company. They're the ones that are going to reach out to you and ask you for all this stuff. And that's basically what's on the first page.
Okay.
The second page is basically what I told you. We're not going to be notifying the bank. Ideally, again, there is a chance that the note can be called by the bank. However, out of all the hundreds of deals that I've done, I've only had one note called on me. What that means is the bank sees that there was a transfer of ownership and then they call the note due. What we do to protect ourselves is we put this property into a land trust. Legally, a bank cannot see who are the owners of the land trust. So that basically protects us from the notes being called. The reason why that note was called was because the seller got on the phone with the bank and they're like, "Oh, I sold the house. I sold the house." So that's why the bank called the note. However, as long as we don't disclose to the bank, the note will not be called. And then the next one is buyer's representations and warranties. Again, this is me not being represented by any real estate agents. I represent myself and you as well too. You're not being represented. You're not being represented by anybody as well, neither, such as real estate agents and stuff. So there's no commissions involved.
Okay.
And then the last page, were you able to get through those?
What is the I'm sorry, 1 second. What is COE called?
Clear of escrow.
Okay, what is that?
Prior to when we close. So clear of the escrow company closing us. So before we close, so yeah, so again, this is the contract. We get this to the title company. Title company, the way you purchase your property is the same way I'm purchasing the property. So ideally, is they go through a title company. Title company is going to make sure that you have no liens against the property, such as you never took out another existing mortgage, solar panels, water softener, swimming pool, landscaping, anything like that. So prior to that, they're going to reach out to you and they're going to ask you for the information for the bank and stuff like that. So they're going to ask you for the the release of loan authorization. They're going to ask you we're going to change the name of like the mailing address and stuff. All of that good stuff. Anything that has to do with the mortgage, they're going to reach out to you and ask you for all that information.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Yes, it does.
It makes sense. It makes dollars. And cool. So the next page was the talking about that we are taking over the mortgage, the due on sale clause.
Okay.
That you're not going to be notifying the bank. And then page 3 is going to be the buyer representations and warranties and the seller representation and warranties. Are you on page 3? Or what page are you on?
Yes, I'm on. Well, I was just on. I just finished page 2.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah. So the next page is going to be you're no longer the owner. This isn't a loan. The existing loan is not going to be paid in full. Continuing liability of the existing loan, failure to make timely payments. Ideally, if I were to stop making payments on this, what could happen is basically you can foreclose on me. So you could take back the property. That's your protection as the seller. And this is the best part about real estate is you're protected by the asset. Yes, you would be in charge of making the payments. However, you're able to take back the property from me based on our agreement. Based on our agreement that now I'm the owner, you're basically now becoming the middleman between me and the bank. So if I were to stop making payments, you're able to take back the property and foreclose on me. That's the best part about real estate is you're protected by the asset itself.
Okay.
And then the next one was the property insurance. Ideally, we're going to add ourselves to your insurance. However, we're going to change the insurance and we're going to add you to our insurance. We still need to have insurance on the property. And then down right there is just going to be the initials, and then the what is that called? Signature. And then again, once we get this back, this comes to me. And then if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, this is my personal cell phone number.
Okay.
Were you able to take care of that? Because as soon as you do, at the top, it should say done signing. And what's going to happen is that's going to get shot back to me.
I'm still signing it right now. Purchase. Moving real fast. I'm on page 7 right now.
Okay, cool. Wait, page 7. Wait, you're on the addendum or you're on the contract? Oh, you're on the contract. That's why.
It says subject to addendum, purchase contract, and escrow instructions.
Let's see. Subject to addendum, purchase contract, and escrow instructions.
Oh, so they took me back through the contract again.
Oh, okay. Maybe at the top you got to hit done signing. Yeah, it probably shot you back to the contract because what it's waiting for, it's probably took you back there because it's waiting for my signatures, I think. So at the top, or unless you miss the signature page or initial page.
So I press, I'm done.
Yeah, hit
And
done.
then that loop, make real estate transactions. These are share documents. Thank you for using that loop.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
and you could hit done.
And then press view all documents again. And then it keeps taking me to the contract. It's not letting me see the other one.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so it looks like both were signed. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to, because they both came back, so I got them both. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to sign them, and then I'm gonna have my transaction coordinator send them over to you through email, so that way you could go through them.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yes.
Sounds good, my man. Any questions that you might have for me?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay, so just real quick, so that way we're both on the same page, so I could let you know the way the process is, what's going to happen next. Is ideally the transaction coordinator is going to be reaching out to you, and they're going to be asking you for information. Remember where it said COE, the documentation and stuff like that. It's going to be you're going to be assigned a designated transaction coordinator that's going to walk you step by step through the whole process. Title company is going to be reaching out to you as well too, in case they need information. If there's anything that you need, don't hesitate to reach out to your transaction coordinator once they reach out to you. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to have him send over the copy of the contract to your email address. And if you have any questions, again, this is my personal cell phone number. My name's Chris Silva. Whatever you need, don't hesitate to reach out to me. But again, don't hesitate to reach out to your transaction coordinator, as they will have the same answers that I do.
Okay.
My man, you have an amazing day. And again, congratulations, bro. I'm excited for you, and I'm happy to be able to help you out.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sheesh! Let's grow, baby. Let's grow, baby.